Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Steve Cooper, food app critic for TokeMag.com. I have a really cool app for you this week. It's called Meal Snap Calorie Counting Magic. Not to be mistaken, there's another app out there called Meal Snap, just that alone. That one I believe is free. This one is $2.99 and it's available for the iPhone and the Windows 7 phone, or Windows Phone 7. So what this app does is it's a calorie counter, but it does it by just snapping a picture of whatever the food it is that you're eating. So it's pretty cool. You open the app and it'll jump you to the current date. You click this little camera button in the bottom left corner of the screen. You take a picture and then it will ask you if you want to add a description, so you can tell it what it is you're taking a picture of, but that's actually not even necessary. You can just say finish, and it will then analyze what it is in that picture and then tell you what they think the calorie count is for that. So it's pretty amazing. Two things though about doing it that way. When you add a description, the results come back really quick, within seconds, and it'll give you an estimation. When you leave it blank and you have the app try to figure out and analyze what it is you're taking a picture of, it can take several minutes. I had one image that took probably over 5 minutes to get data back to me in terms of how many calories it thought was shot in that picture. How does it do it? I don't know. I do know that there is a database that it accesses, which includes over 350,000 food items. So when you type in, say, dried apricots, one of the things that I shot, I'm assuming that it just goes through the database and finds dried apricots and looks at the serving size and is able to figure out, okay, that looks like one serving size, ballpark, this how many calories. What's really interesting is when you don't give it any information, or when you have an item. I shot nachos, which had chips and cheese and sour cream and salsa and beans and avocado and all sorts of stuff on top of it, and I measured it all out, and I did my own little calculation in terms of what I thought that calorie count should be. I shot it, and it came back with a range of calories. It'll give you 500 to 750 calories or whatever it may be, and it came back in a range right at what I had estimated it to be. So in that regard, it's pretty darn amazing. Saying all that, I did have this app crash on me one time, so that's kind of a bummer. But because you're just snapping a picture, and that's it. Crashing, it's not like you're filling out a huge recipe card and it crashes and you lost all this data. So, no, we don't like apps to crash, but if it did crash, it wasn't like the worst thing in the world. But it only happened to me once, but I'm assuming I used it for just a little bit of time, so I'm assuming if I had used it over the course of a couple months, probably would have been a little more regular, and maybe I would have been more frustrated by it. This also has social sharing capability, so you can post your calorie and your picture to Facebook, Twitter, as well as Foursquare. So if you're out at a restaurant or something, you can do that tagging. You can rate how accurate it was when you're using this app. Along the left-hand side, there's a thin bar that allows you to scroll up and down to select dates. One of the things you can't do on this app, at least I tried and it failed for me, was I tried to add an item from yesterday, and it didn't allow me to do that. What it did was it accepted my meal snap picture, but it posted that as today's entry. So that's kind of a bummer. The other thing is it doesn't let you pick images that are in your phone library. So if, say, you were out last night at a restaurant and you took this picture and you forgot to use the app, or maybe you ate a handful of chips or something at a party, and you have similar chips or something at home, and you want to snap a picture to whatever, it doesn't allow you to do any of that stuff. So that's kind of a bummer. The other thing that I feel like is a big missed opportunity with this app is it doesn't chart over time what your calorie fluctuation is. So if you wanted to use this as like a daily journal, you'd basically have to scroll on this timeline along the left-hand side here, day by day, kind of look at the range of calories and just kind of plot it yourself. It doesn't do that automatically for you. And then the other big thing is it doesn't supply any other nutritional information. So if it knows the nutritional content of dried apricots, it would be really nice if it actually displayed that information, but it doesn't. So, this app is extremely simple to use. It's extremely elegant in design because there's not much going on, which maybe that's why they decided to leave it out of this version. I don't know. But I feel like this could have a little bit more to it than it does just by itself. And the last thing I want to mention about this app is because it gives you estimates in terms of what it thinks. So, nachos, 500 to 750. When you do that over snacks, breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert, and it gives you a constant variation of 20, 50, 100, 150 calories, at the end of the day, you could wind up off 500 calories or more, and it could bust a diet. So really, as far as I'm concerned, this is a really cool app, something that you can definitely impress your friends with. And it's a really good reference guide, but it's not much more than that for me because it lacks more functionality that you would use it on a day-to-day basis to actually track nutritional information, calorie consumption, because it doesn't chart any of it. So while it's a good app, if this is something that sounds appealing to you, you won't be disappointed. I don't think so, at least. But I will say that it's not perfect. There is room to grow with this app. And because of that, I gave it a 3.75 out of 5 stars. So check it out. Let me know what you think. If you did you have similar experiences with this app? Do you have a better app to count and track calorie consumption or nutritional information? I'd be interested to hear about that. So let me know. I hope you check out the rest of the app reviews. They are at tokemag.com, and I look forward to doing this again very soon. Take care.